Hey, Franklin and I are back, and we're going to talk real quickly about Grand Archive. Short video, 5 to 10 minutes here. So, Grand Archive is a game I've been enjoying for the last 6 to 8 weeks here. And I've been hesitant to make content. I know you've probably seen some pack openings, and I know I mentioned it in at the channel launch. But Grand Archive videos on YouTube do horribly. And part of that, I've kind of hemmed and hawed about that. Part of it's it's a new fledgling community. There just aren't that many players. And at the end of the day, I decided I'm going to make a video a week for it. I'm going to put it out there. So, hey, Flesh and Blood players, I'm still going to make Flesh and Blood content. If you don't like the Grand Archive stuff, just skip it. I'd appreciate it if you watched it, give it a like. And if you're interested in another competitive TCG, I do recommend Grand Archive. And I'm going to run through my pros and cons of it here real quickly. So things I love about Grand Archive is how wide open the deck building is. Now, I don't want to talk about how the meta breakdown actually is. That's different to me than how wide open the deck building is. What I mean by that is in Flesh and Blood, you have one hero. And it's just that one hero, and other than Leviathan, you have one hero for the whole game. In Grand Archive, your hero is going to level up, and you could possibly have different heroes with different abilities at every level. So if you're going to play Rye has 3 different abilities for his 3 different levels. And level 3 Rye, there's actually 2 different ones of him. And you can mix a different wizard in the middle. So there's a lot of flexibility even with your hero, depending on what you want to play and how you want to play them. In addition, heroes don't come stapled to their elements like they do in Flesh and Blood. In Flesh and Blood, Icelander's an ice wizard. In Grand Archive, Rye is a wizard. And then the spirit that you summon on turn 0 or 1 of the game determines your elemental efficiency. And now, with the new expansion, you can even change your elemental later on. So you can have wind, you can do water, you can do fire of Rye or any of the other heroes in the game. So there's a lot of flexibility to really play the game the way you want to with the heroes you want to play. And I really love that. I love the games are quick, right? Games are taking 15 to 20 minutes. I will say that a best of 3, which is their organized play format, in an hour can be a little tight though. But I do love how quick the games are and how interactive the games are. One of the things about Flesh and Blood that I don't love is for a lot of decks, my interaction is just blocking. And I don't really consider that interaction. So I do love the amount of instants, the amount of spells we're slinging around. You can attack other creatures. You can attack other heroes. There's a lot going on in Grand Archive. And the turns go very quickly. There's not a lot of downtime. I really love all of those things. The last thing I want to say is it has really clean rules. Shockingly well-written rules with really consistent verbiage across their rulebook and on their cards. And that to me, as someone who's judged in multiple games and likes to kind of understand the technical aspect of it, I really, really do appreciate. And I guess, I know I said the last thing, so I lied to you. I really do love the art. There's definitely some weeb inside of me, and hopefully there's some weeb inside of you too. And it's tasteful weeb is what I'll say. They're cards that I don't feel bad showing my wife or my kids. I like the art. I like the art style. I think a lot of the things are adorable. Who doesn't like squirrels? Everyone likes squirrels. All right. There are definitely some cons of the game, and I'm not going to try to talk around them. You cannot get product right now. Now, supposedly that gets fixed in 2 weeks, right? We have a new expansion coming out, and with that, we have this huge reprint of their initial launch. But right now, product is impossible to find. So asking your local game store to support it is kind of like, would you maybe buy this game in the future when you can get product? So I do want to shout out Dueling Lands here in Colorado for supporting this game all through its limited availability time. So one of the cons is real limited supply. Because of that limited supply, you end up with some weird price discrepancies. Now, you can get most cards pretty cheaply, but if you want their version of a Marvel called a CSR, a Collector's Super Rare, those are still very expensive. I'm curious what the market on those looks like in the future. And then Fractured Crown, their new set, you're guaranteed a CSR in a case, but a case is 18 boxes. Now, you might have more than one in the case. It is nice of them to guarantee one in the case. We'll see kind of where the pricing for those ends up long term. But decks in this game are very cheap. They're honestly about where Flesh and Blood was when I started playing Flesh and Blood. You're talking like $150 to $200 for a deck to start playing Grand Archive. Now, one of the other cons is for a new game, the meta feels very stale. And that's a horrible con, but let me explain it real quickly. The game's only been out about 6 months, but the Kickstarters had the full card lists for over a year and a half now. So those people, those players who are really invested in it, the Kickstarters, the early backers, have been proxying and playing the game basically for 18 months with the same set. And if you imagine Flesh and Blood with just one set for that time, if you imagine Magic with just a standard set or a standard rotation block for just that time, it's going to feel old towards the end of that. And that's one of the great things about looking at Grand Archive content right now is Fractured Crown is just around the corner, releases in about 2 weeks from the time I'm recording this, and I do think it's going to be a lot to shake up the meta, even though it's a supplemental set. So those are my pros and cons of Grand Archive. I am really excited to play them. I'm going to start with some deck techs about some decks I've been playing and new cards that those decks are getting in Fractured Crown that I think you should pick up. After this video, I'm going to tack on some of like an unboxing video of some Gen Con swag my buddy Chris was picking up. And if you're in Colorado, definitely check out Dueling Lands down in Aurora. And recently, Smetrat Games up here in Longmont said they were going to start carrying the product when it comes back in stock. So hey, Coloradans, we have 2 places to play Grand Archive. I'll be at both of them doing Learn to Plays. So if you want to check that out, please do so. I am excited to start making some Grand Archive content. And we'll see, there's also a small chance I do some Lorcana content. I do have a bunch of boxes I'm going to open on stream. I don't know how much I enjoy playing Lorcana, but we're definitely going to crack some packs and have some fun there. So thank you for watching this. Hopefully, Flesh and Blood players, check out the Grand Archive content. Let me know if you like it. Hopefully we get some new people to the stream as well, and maybe they get introduced to Flesh and Blood from this as well. So till next time, everyone, cheers and happy gaming. Hey everybody, we're back with some Grand Archive swag from Gen Con. We've got a Merlin deck box, and we have 2 supporter packs, and we have this gorgeous Frost Nova Merlin here. We're going to open this supporter pack here up. I am going to start making more, and by more I mean any Grand Archive content. I've been kind of waiting for it to get a little bit closer to. That Trained Hawk is sweet. Before we start it up, also, like, Grand Archive just doesn't have great numbers on YouTube, but to be honest, neither does my channel, so it really doesn't matter. So let's crack open these supporter packs. Maybe I need safety scissors for these. No, we'll just rip them. So let's see what we got. I believe it's 3 cards a pack, and we'll see what comes out of these. My buddy Chris was able to get these, so we got a Squirrel, Patrol, Arcane Blast is great. I have all my Blast, but it's a pretty expensive card. I think like Blast and Fireball are the 2 non-chase high-value cards, if we're not counting like foiling or the ridiculous ones. Veteran, Blitz Mage, and Freezing Hail. More Squirrels. Esteemed Knight, Barrier Servant. A Swifty, Veteran, and a Zephyr. Again, Zephyr's not a bad card there, but the best card we've pulled is definitely that Arcane Blast so far. More Squirrels, another Blitz Mage, and a Snow Fairy. I am more excited about Water with Fractured Crown coming out. We'll see how that actually goes. We'll see if anyone beats Wind Lorraine. Blitz Mage. What? That's pretty sweet. Can't complain about that. It's a gorgeous foil, too. I don't think you're guaranteed a foil in the supporter pack. I'll have to double check that. I assume it's just like normal pack distribution odds on the thing, so cracking a foil is pretty awesome. I guess we have 2 here, so if I crack a foil in the other one, it's a really small sample size, but Stillwater Patrol, Esteemed Knight, and a Fireball. Fireball, Arcane Blast, and a foil. Pretty good so far. Another Swifty, a Veteran, and a Reclaim. So these were kind of the sweet cards we got. Again, we got the Alt Art Fireball. This gorgeous foil Alt Snow Fairy. And an Arcane Blast. So thanks for tuning in. Again, some Grand Archive content coming. We'll obviously keep the Flesh and Blood content going. But I think we'll go to like 1 Grand Archive video a week. See where we get with it. I know not a lot of people watch Grand Archive stuff yet because not a lot of people play. But we got to start somewhere. We'll see where we get to. Merlin deck box is pretty sweet. we'll open this other supporter pack at some point too. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. Let me know if you're enjoying Grand Archive. And until next time, everyone, cheers and happy gaming.